Well, I am Prosenjit Ghosh, Assistant Professor in History, Vivekananda Mahavidyalay, Hooghly, West Bengal. I am a participant of first online refresher course in ITGS organized from 6 to 19 September 2021 by UGC Human Resource Development Center of Gujrat University, Ahmedabad. I am going to deliver my presentation on English East India Company's journey to India 1600 to 1857. Before we move to our slides, we all are aware of the fact that India was a colony of the British Empire in which English East India Company had a major contribution. Professor Tirthankar Roy called it uh, the East India Company as the world's most powerful corporation in England. The company was familiar with various names: the East India Company, also known as Honorable East India Company, East India Trading Company, the English East India Company in 1707, the British East India Company, and informally known as John Company, Company Bahadur, etc. The English East India Company was a joint stock company founded in 1600. Let's move to our slides. Well, let's go for the background of English East India Company's establishment. The headquarters of English East India Company is situated in Leadenhall Street, London City. We can trace out 8 different factors that led to the urge to establish a company. These possible factors were: first, the astonishing expansion of British power overseas after the defeat of Spanish Armada in 1588. All we are familiar with this um, Anglo Portuguese, Anglo Spanish, and Anglo Dutch rivalry in Atlantic, in particularly North Sea area. Then the initiative come from the merchant bourgeoisie in New England. It is also an important factor behind the rise of English East India Company. All we know the third factor, the discovery of gold and silver in America. It is the reason that England tried to expand itself westward to find actually Indies, but unfortunately, they reached a Newfoundland, the colony of America, became its gift. Let's move to the fourth factor, the slave trade from Africa. Then the fifth factor, bullion trade, and then the introduction of Calvinism in England through Presbyterianism and Puritanism, and the growth under Elizabeth of a various Puritan movement which had its stronghold among the trading commercial classes, marked a distinct stage in England's social movement. So, this is the New England we are talking about, which um, which became a factor behind the rise of English East India Company. The next factor is guild merchants, masters, and the journeymen in English towns. We will discuss it later, a little later. Then the factor is English merchants competitors, the Flemish Hens and the Italians, and there are other competitors. Let's move to our uh, fourth slide. This slide contains how the company received a legal sanction from Royal Authority of Britain. A number of British companies enjoyed royal charters. Then what is a charter? Charter is a kind of license given by the king or queen in England by their rights of common law. These charters, among them, we find the name of the following companies. A number of companies emerged. Then, for example, the Company of Merchant Adventurers in 1505 for Belgium trade, the Russia Company in 1553, the Africa Company in 1567, the Eastland Company in 1578, the Spanish Company, the Levant Company, mm, uh, the East India Company ultimately emerged from the conglomeration of this Levant Company and Venice Company. Let's move to our next slide. In this slide, we can see the formation of the company. In 1585, the first English colony in Virginia was established by Sir Walter Raleigh, and after the Battle of Armada in 1588, and an association styling itself as the Governor and Company of Merchants of London, trading to the East Indies, was formed in London in 1599. The next year, this primary version of the English East India Company received its first royal charter, 31st December of 1600, and in 1612 the first English settlement in India was established at Surat. We can look out that the tour, the journey of these companies, in fact, from Bristol to Mecca and towards they crossed and they reached Japan. Sometimes they reached Bahamas, Newfoundland, and Virginia. All these are all these new areas became the colony of England. Let's move to our next slide. Okay, the next slide contains the organizational setup of English East India Company. First, the court of directors. We can see this setup up to 1858, when the last meeting of the court directors was summoned in the Leadenhall Street office. Then the Board of Control established in 1784, and then the post of Governor General became very important, and then companies stakeholders, then companies agents or factors or adventurers, and captain of the ship, mariners, head office, and in the last level, in the far in the most of in the downward, it is the branch office. It is the local setup of English East India Company. Let's move to our next slide, and behind this slide this is the red dragon. This is the around 600 tonnage ship called Red Dragon, which adventured from which is the first venture of English East India Company in India. Next slides contains the items of trade. Uh, a number of items there, for example, wool, slave, hides, grains, untanned leather, unfulfilled cloth, wines, spices, precious stones, tea, opium, indigo. A number of other items were traded from one area to another area. In the next slide, we point out four important phases through the company the company gained its foothold in India. These are first, the 1583 to 1606, an era of unofficial attempts of the English to open India commerce. Then 1608 to 1619, the English East India Company's official attempt to secure a foothold in the commerce of India, particularly in Surat. Next, 1619 to 1657, the last 8 years of Jahangir's rule and the whole period of Shah Jahan's reign saw the application of the policy of force by English. 1624, Jahangir's grant of Firman, which finally gave the British a foothold in Indian commerce. Last 1658 to 1717, the fortunes of English East India Company passed through successive vicissitudes, especially during the reign of Aurangzeb and Farrukh Shah. In our next slide, we can show the journey of English East India Company from a trade and commerce oriented organization to an empire building machinery. Here, the broad phases shows uh, I have segregated, I have split down this into the broad phase, three broad phases, that 1757 to 1857, the period of annexation by English East India Company, 1558, 1858 to 1947, the period of British Raj, and 1947, that is the Indian and Pakistani independence, the period of independence. So here we can see the in 100 years the total period of annexations completed. Next, we see when the England office, the Parliament, and the Queens, all they find that that a mere company hold a huge area in India, and it is not concealed to them. Then they decided to take over their power, the India office, from the holds of a company to their own hand. So this period, we in this slide we see the end of company era in India in 1580, finally in 1858. The important acts which curtail the wings of the company are the Regulating Act of 1773, Pitt's India Act 1784, the Charter Act of 1813, the end of charter in 1833. In 1857, English East India Company gifted its India Empire to Britain. An Act for the Better Government of India 1858 passed. So this is the journey through which we see the rise and growth of a company which is the most which is the largest um, corporation at that time, and which is the largest joint stock company through which the entire empire was formed. With this, we have an overview how a small joint stock company played an important role in the making of British Empire in India. Thank you. I, Prosenjit Ghosh, thank UGC Human Resource Development Center of Gujrat University, Ahmedabad, for providing me an opportunity to join first online refresher course in ITGS, Information and Technology in Global Society. Thank you.